What up, what up? It's your boy, Georgie 350, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Once Upon a 785. Available now wherever you listen to podcasts, bitch. And if you're listening, I'd like to say you fucking rock, and I appreciate the shit out of you. And if you fuck with us and you think the show is worth a fuck, go ahead and leave a review or a like on whatever platform you listen on, just because it helps the algorithm find more badass motherfuckers like yourself who might enjoy it too. But never feel obligated to leave a review or feel obligated to do anything. Just enjoy the show. What up, what up? It's your boy, Georgie 350, and I would like to welcome you to episode number 12, Blackouts and Broken Bones at 1209 Tamarack Circle, featuring special guests, none other than my boy, JC Toll. And, fun fact, the last episode I had with John Charles is still the most streamed episode that I've ever had. So, go ahead and buckle up your seatbelts. You're in for a treat. And the date at the time of this recording was December 19th, 2022. But your boy fucks around, and it's actually February 27th, 2023. The fuck do you want? My bad. But nonetheless, since it's been a while, in case you forgot, if you would like to support your boy in the podcast, you can do so for $4.99. And you can subscribe to the podcast, get ad-free entertainment, bonus episodes, random bullshit. Who knows? But if you can't afford that, it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. All you got to do is hang on while we take a brief commercial break, and we'll be right back. Bitch. Yay! And now, back to the episode. Bitch.
So, what you want to chop it about, sir?
Oh man. So first off, I want to say we got the one, the only JC Toll up in this bitch again. Motherfucker opening for Chingy. What you know about that?
Don't go gassing me up, man.
I gas you up all day, every day.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Cool experience. I'm glad I got to do it. Bro did his thing.
You obviously got to meet Chingy, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Did he like the way you did that right there?
He said that he liked the music and shit, but I think that's just, you know what I mean? Whether he did or he didn't, that's what he would have said. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Damn, I forgot that I got to keep my fucking phone on.
Yeah, you can't close your screen or else it'll fucking mute you.
Yeah, that's dumb as fuck. What was the last thing you heard me say?
He hasn't really had a hit song in fucking forever, has he?
Oh yeah. No, he did a song a few years back, I think, that had a little bit of traction, you know, for a little bit of a comeback or whatever, but he didn't really take back off or nothing. I couldn't tell you what the song was. It was featuring somebody or on somebody's feature or something.
Well, he can't be doing too good to be, you know, performing in Haze.
Yeah, he said he does a lot of little venues like that too. Dude was on some super positive shit though when we chopped it up with him. He was all on, you know, positive vibes and shit.
Hell yeah. So then was it just you and Rick and Chingy?
Rick had a couple other of our homeboys down there too. Rob Davis, I don't know if you know who that is, dude that he fucks tough, played ball for Fort Hays a couple years back. He's in charge of the AAU out there and shit. Does a lot with the youth and the basketball and shit.
Nice.
And then Drez, I think you know Drez.
Possibly.
We we got a couple bottles of Hennessy and shit. We was doing shots beforehand, and it was fun. It was cool. I got to go to sound check and shit like that. You know what I mean? And heard like the set list beforehand, so I could have been more, you know, participated more. But they did get hyped for a minute. That was real cool. That was probably the best part of the night for me.
Fuck yeah, that's what's up.
Listen to those Colorado trips you were talking about, or listen to that Colorado trip. Oh my god, that shit had me dying laughing.
Dude, and then I had another one. My episode that I just put out today, dude. It's called Welcome to Wyoming, but yeah, I wasn't supposed to end up in Wyoming, but god damn it, I did anyway.
You told us that how you crossed over from Colorado into Wyoming at some point. You were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it was hella fucking weird. Ran out of gas on the way back.
Oh my god. Were you just not paying attention to your gas gauge, or you were tight on money, or
No.
what?
No, I had money. I was just fucking. I remember seeing like low fuel at like Burlington, no, at Lyman, and then I didn't think about it ever again until all of a sudden I'm like, the fuck, my car's not. Oh shit, I'm out of gas.
Yeah, I haven't done that, but I came real close to doing that. Thinking, okay, I'll just catch the next gas station, when it starts getting low, and then like have a big ass long stretch where I'm like, oh fuck, I might have misjudged this.
Yeah, it was shitty, dude. 4 state troopers stopped and asked if we needed help, and I was like, yeah, I'd love some fucking gas. I got money. Fuck no, they still made me call AAA.
God damn. Have you taken a look at the moon tonight?
Super
dope, beautiful blood moon.
Oh shit, does that mean some crazy shit's about to happen? Because I hope so.
I don't know, but you should look at it if you can see it. I feel like we should tell some stories.
I like stories.
I like stories too. I can't think of a good one off the top, but I feel like we should.
I know the one that we didn't get to talk about.
I know you keep wanting to talk about that one, and I don't know that I really want to talk about that one.
Oh man, that's the gold.
I don't know if bro would ever listen to. I don't know if he does listen to the podcast or if he would ever listen to it. But
He's got hate in his heart.
For you?
I don't know, just in general, and and whatever that stuff is running through his veins. And it's not zesty sauce.
I don't want to talk about bro.
Well, fucking. Oh shit. What about that night that? Could we talk about the night that Face broke his arm and he had the mohawk and shit?
Yeah. Well, fuck.
Because it got pretty wild that night,
I was gonna say, the last time we did a story like that, I kind of had like a panic attack for 2 or 3 days, thinking that the fucking PD was gonna pull up some old shit, but I don't know, because that guy. I mean, everybody ended up okay, I suppose.
Yeah, except the girl that was with me that was tripping her balls off for the first time and had a horrible trip.
Yeah, we could tell that story because I mean we were in the right 100%. We could definitely tell that story. We were in the right. Where did the night start for you?
Well, it all started with me, like not that night, but you remember we had our well-endowed blonde friend and
who listened to that episode, she told me, and she even said, really, that's what you guys referred to me as, and had a good laugh about it. She said it was like being on the phone with us. She was a good sport.
That's good. We like good sports.
Yeah.
It was her and the other girl's going away party. Were you there for that?
I don't believe so. As a matter of fact, I was public enemy number 1 for that.
Ah, shit. Because, see, I kept saying, yo, if you don't find me a chick to bang, then you're going to have to bang me. And she literally, like, stood me up on the couch and was like, this is my friend. He's got a huge cock and a bunch of money. And then all the girls turned the other way. And I was like, fuck you guys. Somehow, dude, I ended up. Oh man, it's so weird. I feel bad.
You know what? I think I kind of got salty with you that weekend because of that. Like I came to town and like you guys wouldn't even let me in the house behind that shit.
Oh well, shit! Yeah,
she wouldn't let me in the house. You know what I mean? Calling that shot.
Yeah, I mean that's when I came out of blackout and I was totally, face deep somewhere. And then we can fast forward like not even.
I think it was the next night. I don't think that was the same night. I think it was the next night.
Yeah, no, it was different. because I only hung out with her for like a week, and then after that night, she never talked to me ever again.
Oh. Okay, so it was that same night then?
Well, no. The going away party was that was like at the very beginning of the week, and then I think it was like the next weekend when you and Big Mike and Face came over.
Yeah. Well, Face was staying there, I think.
Oh yeah, he was sleeping on the couch like he always do.
Yeah.
But it was like we were having a party, and then the people like 2 houses down were having a party.
Damn, hold on. Let me think about this. Actually, you know what? Face wasn't staying there yet.
I thought he was because he was making me do his mohawk afterward.
Yep, afterward. Mohawk days. That is when he was staying there. Yep. You're sure right. I'm just thinking about what led up to that. Okay, so for me, it starts way even further before then because the whole situation took place. That kid, the main character of this story, broke into our house when me and Faye stayed in that duplex down there on Milner.
Yeah.
And him and a buddy of his, this was during Oktoberfest weekend. So, you know, that's a busy weekend for a guy like me. And he called me and wanted some trees. Well, I didn't have trees on me. You know, I had something else. So I had to call the homie and tell him, hey, you know, I need to come pick up like a little QP or something. And he's like, all right. And boom, I shoot over. When these guys called me for shit, I was at a house party with Faze. So I told him, I said, hey, you know, I can make this shake, but you got to come pick me up and we got to run somewhere, grab it, some whole extra shit. And they're like, that's cool. We're with it. I'm like, bet. So they come pick me up from the house party.
Have you ever sat there and wondered how much shit actually gets cut out of this podcast? How much shit we can't put in there? Well, if you have, just know for $4.99, you can not only support your boy, you can get a whole bunch of uncut, uncensored, and random shit that definitely doesn't make it in the podcast. And I'm going to even try to throw in some extra episodes for you motherfuckers. So, show your boy some love and you can hear some shit just like this.
Oh my God. Wild curveball in here that you may have to take out later, but
is that something you might be interested in? If so, click the link in the description, and once again, just $4.99 a month, and you'll get a whole bunch of badass shit just like that. Now, back to the episode, bitch.
So I left with them. I left with old boy and his homie, and I went to Ellis, and I met my homeboy on a farm, and I grabbed a little pack off of him, and you know, it was in the box. It was in like a little appliance box or something, and they couldn't see how much it was. They just see me grab a box. And so I was like, you know, I'll get you guys straightened out when we get back to the house where the scale is. So boom, they take me to the house, and I go in the house and I take care of everything. And I had a funny feeling that like these dudes were about to put two and two together, that I just got the pack, came by the house, and now I'm leaving again. So for some reason I hit the pack real well, you know. And when I came back out, jumped back in with them, they take me back to the house party I was at. I get back to the house party, everything's cool. We party all night. It's a blast. Face ended up somewhere else, and I went back to the apartment after the sun had came up. It's like 8 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I walk in, and right away I can tell something's wrong. Like something's missing. The house isn't wrecked or anything, but something isn't right. And I look down. It's the fucking Xbox. The Xbox is always in the, you know, your game is always in the same spot. The Xbox was always in the same spot. And I look down, that motherfucker's gone. All the games are gone off the shelf. The controllers are gone. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. So I call Face. Like, Face, please, where you at? He's like, I'm over here. Boogie's, I think, is where he said he was at, or somewhere like that. And I'm like, please tell me you got the Xbox with you. And he's like, no, why? And I was like, you didn't take it with you when you were drunk to go play somewhere? And he's like, no, I left it there. I've never taken it with me. I'm like, damn, that means that the dudes that I sold some weed to last night broke in the house. They didn't find the pack, but they chalked up the pack and said, fuck it, we'll take this Xbox.
Yeah, that's bitch, man.
I knew right away who it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I immediately, they were the only dudes who'd been to the house that night, and it's just too easy. I knew right away. So I seen him like a couple weeks later at another house party, and it was already a place that I was on thin ice at. I'd had incidents in the past, and the people there were, you know what I mean, kind of annoyed when I'd show up, come around like, "Ooh, he fight too much" type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so instantly when I get there, there's a bunch of people out front, and I walk up with the girl that I was with at the time, and I'm dapping up, shaking people's hands. And I get like towards the end of the line, and wouldn't you know, it's old fucking boy who stole the Xbox standing there with his hand out, like, "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "No fucking way, you gotta be kidding me." And he's still standing there with his hand up, like shaking his head, looking at me, like, "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "Oh man," I turn around. I don't know if you remember Juan Tom Man of Love. You remember him?
Yeah.
So he was there, and he just gave me a big hug and shit. So he's standing like right beside me. So when this dude's got his hand up, like looking at me, like, "What's up?" I turn to one. I'm like, I got 2 beers in my hands. And I turn to one. I'm like, "Hey, one, will you take these?" And he like takes it from me. He's like, "Yeah." He takes it from me, and boom, I take off on dude. You know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. Start whooping dude right there in the yard. Somebody from the party who already, like I said, didn't like me ran up and started choking me, like pulling me off, dude. So they got me off of them, and I got ran out of the party. You know, they made me leave, whatever. And so uh, that was like the best I had gotten to him, you know what I mean? And I was just itching, like that wasn't good enough, you know what I mean? The little, I don't know, little combo he got hit with, that was not sufficient for what he did. That's not a quarter of the payment that he owed. And so then to when you're talking about, this would have been probably months down the line if we were
No, this was way later, dude, because this was at Tamarack Circle.
That's what I'm saying. So to know that we no longer lived in that house on Milner, that's how much later this took place. But I couldn't find the kid. You know what I mean? I wouldn't see him out nowhere. He wasn't really from Hayes. He would just pop in and out. And so when I got to your house that night, whatever night that was, I had Big Mike with me, and we came bebopping in and shit. And we're saying our what's up and hellos to everybody. And the house was usually packed, and the house was pretty packed that night. But you could tell like a big portion of the people had moved upstairs to the smoke room, And I was like, cool, that's where I'm going, And I go up there to the room, and the door's closed, and I knock, and I knew what time it was, and they let me in. When I get in there, I'm looking around the room, and again, I'm like dapping up, and people are standing up giving me hugs, and I'm happy to see people, and I'm kind of getting filled in on what's been going on. And then as I'm scanning the room, boom, my eyes land on, guess who? Old boy that stole the Xbox. I'm like, no way. And then, of course, I'm knowing this is my bro's house, so everybody's got to get out of here. We got to handle something. And I remember telling Face, you're not going to believe this. And Face like, what? I'm like, man, this is the guy right here.
Face already broke his arm.
You say what?
Face had already broken his arm at this time.
Oh, he broke his arm later that night.
Side note, if anybody can clarify when our said friend broke his arm, feel free to shoot me a message, leave a voice message, whatever you will. But yeah, I don't really remember when it happened. So that's that. Back to the story.
No, he broke it before, because that's why he had to start hitting him with his left hand, because
No. Okay, so all of that happened kind of early on in the night, from what I remember. And then later in the night is when, after we let old boy go, because everybody from your party went next door to the other party. You remember there was a party next door?
Yeah.
That's where Face broke his arm at. And that was after we ran everybody out. So, like, we were upstairs handling that shit, and Face was like, because that's how the whole thing happened. Face was punching on dude a little, you know what I'm saying? Face kept punching on dude and slapping him and shit. And he's talking shit when he was doing it, talking about, I fucking love Call of Duty. I fucking love gaming. I fucking love playing Madden, you bitch ass motherfucker. And I'm cracking up because Face ain't no gangster, but boy, in the moment he was hot. He found it in him. And then
yeah.
Go ahead.
I thought I remember, like, he thought that dude at the other party was calling him Molly, because that's
how he broke his arm. That's how he broke his arm.
Well, that's when I started tripping. because I found the bitch and she was like waving her hands around, like looking at her hand tracers. Like, oh no, bitch, we got to get out of here. And then I thought, yeah, he broke his arm, and then our one Puerto Rican or Peruvian flake friend brought him over, and it was like, I just remember him.
Cuban did bring him over. Cuban did bring him over, but he because they were from the same town. They were cool together. I mean, they were friends. But he was there when I got there. The kid was there when I got there. I hadn't seen him at the party next door. I hadn't even been to the party next door yet.
That could be it too, because I was tripping hard.
And so, like when Big Mike was holding the door while me and Face were slapping dude up, and like you and old girl were just kind of in there spectating because it was your house.
We went on the balcony. We went on the balcony. She was crying. I was like, "What the fuck, dude? I don't know what to tell you." He fucked up. That's his fault, not mine.
Yeah. And then I remember like, man, we roughed dude up pretty good. I'm not gonna get into the details of that, but he was sorry he took the Xbox for sure. And then just at the end of it, like when we were like letting him go, basically, and like dispersing, our well-endowed friend popped up and came upstairs, and Mike wasn't letting her in. And she's like, "What the fuck you mean I can't come in?" And he was like, "Man, JC's handling something." And she's like, "And what the fuck you mean I can't come in? Like, I can come in when JC's in there," type shit. And I had the kid's ID in my fingers, right? Like holding it, poking him in the head with it, shit, telling him like, "I know where you live," all that type shit. You know what I mean? And when she came busting around the corner, so now a little more backstory. That was shortly after our breakup. And she was keeping in contact with my mom, super tough, like running and telling my mom all my business and shit. You know how an ex-girlfriend does, especially when they're cool with your mom, you know, and my mom's loved her. And so my mom's would talk to her all the time, and she'd talk right back every chance she got. And she would blab all my personal business, all the dirt I was doing and shit. So she pokes her head around the corner, and I'm holding old boy's ID in my fingers just by chance. And I turned and I looked at the bitch, and Mike still got like one arm in front of her, not letting her like walk in. You know what I mean? He's just let her leaned in so she could see us. And she's like looking at me like, "What the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? Well, what are you doing to this kid? And why is Big Mike not letting me in? Like, "Oh fuck, what's wrong with him?" type shit. And I look at her and I said, "You keep fucking blabbing your fat fucking mouth to my mom, this is gonna be you too."
Did your screen go dark?
Fuck yeah, my screen went dark.
Yo, I heard you say you flicked something at her.
Yeah, so I was holding old boy's driver's license in my fingers.
Allegedly.
Like I said, some of that you have to edit out. I don't know if you can put all that in there. But
yeah.
So I was holding that driver's license in my fingertips, and bitch, if you don't stop blabbing your fat fucking mouth to my mom, this is gonna be you next. And I flung the ID at her, and it flew like a fucking ninja star. Hit her right in the shit, bro. Hit her right in the face. I think it got her in the eye. And she like, you know, I like grabbed her eye like, "You motherfucker, like what the fuck?" And I was like, I kept a solid face, you know what I mean? Like, "Yeah, bitch." But in my mind, I was like, "Oh fuck," you know what I mean? Like when you accidentally, when you were a kid, if you ever broke a window on accident, you were like, your shoulders lift up, you're like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? That's how I felt when I hit her face with that ID. Like, "Whoops, my bad, bitch."
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't mean that, but now that it happened, I stand on it.
Yeah, you take it too.
Yeah. And so then that's when we basically left old boy crying up there and went downstairs and went across the way, and we're enjoying ourselves at the house party next door. And as a matter of fact, we were just joking about how when Face walked out the back of that party and those kids said the slick shit when he walked past them to go piss, he was out there pissing, and me and Big Mike are talking to these little bitches. And when Face walks back up, the dudes that he was tripping with was the dudes that these two little bitches that we were talking with were there with. And so when Face walks back up, he's like, "Who said that shit?" And everybody's like looking at each other like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Who the fuck was talking about my mole?" And so I'm like laughing with Big Mike, like, "Oh, look at Face. He done, had a little incident. Now he's a gangster tonight. Like, he's just all the way gangster." And so I point to the two dudes standing there. I'm like, "It was these slick mouth motherfuckers that said the shit." And Face backs dude up, fucking talking cash money shit to him, talking about you want to talk shit about my mole, motherfucker, just blowing on him, and out of nowhere, just rocks him with the first punch. Bam! I never really seen Face throw a good punch like this. Throws the first punch, it's good, it connects. He draws back the second one, and when he fires off that second one, the kid melted along like down the wall. You know what I mean? He like just fell, and so Face fired the second punch, and it just drilled the wall with everything it had. Smoked that motherfucker. And he instantly starts shaking his hand and babying it and shit. And I'm laughing. Me and Big Mike are laughing, you know what I mean? And now we're doing crowd control. Like, everybody, watch out, you know what I mean? Get away from our homeboy and shit. So I think we ended up leaving after that. And we all went to the club that night. And Face came down to Chuck's way later than all the rest of us with our well-endowed friend. And he's like holding his arm like a sling. You know what I mean? He don't have a sling on, but he's holding his arm like it's in a sling. And I tell him, like, put your fucking arm down, Goofy. You look retarded. And he's like, bro, my arm is broke. My arm is broke. I'm like, bro, your arm's not fucking broke. When you punch people, it hurts. Like, that's just part of it. Your arm's not broke. It'll be fine in a couple days. Bro, our well-endowed friend took him to the hospital. That his shit was broken like 2 different places. He had to get a full cast from wrist to shoulder.
I know. I had to do his mohawk every morning.
He had that dumbass mohawk. He couldn't even spike his own fucking mohawk with that arm.
He'd just be like, Jordan, please do my mohawk.
Anybody that would do it, please spike my mohawk.
It was so funny. It was like a red cast.
Oh, and he had it forever, it seemed like.
Yeah, that was the arm that held a spitter.
That was
shit was so funny.
I forgot all about that shit. That is so funny. Broke his poor little arm.
I know. I'd be like, I'll do your mohawk if you let me take your car.
Do you remember when old girl's mom came that one night? Fuck. What a nightmare.
Fuck no.
You don't? Oh, I don't know if you. I know the homeboy you wanted the story on tonight was there, but I can't remember who else was there. There was a handful of us there, and yeah, old girl's mom came looking for her. Oh, it was awful.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and she was in her bra and panties under a blanket on the couch while everybody was partying around her. And she did that to herself. Like, I don't even know why she did that shit.
Shit is crazy.
She got so drunk she was throwing up, and then just stripped down and climbed under the blanket right there on the couch in front of everybody. And I was just like, oh my god,
dude, those were some crazy times. Were you there the night that the police came and we just shut shit down, turned off all the lights, locked all the doors, and like?
Well, I know the police came one night because they were looking for me. I think a girl called them on me.
Allegedly.
Those were some crazy fucking times, because you remember old fucking. We could probably talk about the refrigerator all day, and that motherfucker is never gonna fucking.
I'll gladly talk about the refrigerator. Fuck yeah! You want to hear how it went down? Yeah, I'll gladly talk about the fridge. And I'd also like to talk about the fact that Face sold me out on that. He is such a fucking rotten apple for that turd.
The names have been changed to protect the motherfuckers that we talk about in this podcast. And for this friend, we're going to change his name to Kevin. Fuck it. Back to the episode.
And last thing I remember that night is holding a bottle of A&A, like a half gallon, and then just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I don't remember shit.
Okay, well, I wasn't even there at your house that night. I was at Kevin's, and Face hit us up, and it was like that. Your house had died down or something. Face was seeing what we were doing, and we're like, shit. I'm pretty sure I was on the run at the time, and so I was real low key. I was having to move around at night. It was just super lame. That's when I slept on that mattress in that little hallway at Tamarack. You remember that?
Yeah, Hunter used to sleep on it before that.
Yeah. And so, because I couldn't go to my house, I had an apartment even. I just couldn't go back because fucking police was looking for me.
Yeah.
And so,
allegedly.
And Face hit us up and was like, "What are y'all doing?" And we're like, "Nah, shit." He was like, "Come get me." And we went and got him. we took him back to Kevin's. We was, sitting there drinking, kicking it. Kevin had a little bitch over. I had some little bitch over, and we just the five of us drinking. And Face like now, and there had been a lot. I don't know if you knew this, but me and Kevin and Face, actually not me and Kevin and Face, me and Face had talked a lot about that mini fridge in the first place because he was so dumb. He thought it was like a safe, like somebody.
He still is dumb.
He literally acted like somebody couldn't rob him because he had it padlocked in a goddamn mini fridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
it wasn't even that he acted like somebody could rob him. He just acted like I don't know, like he had this thing going on. And that another thing that really made me salty is I cut him so many different deals. You know what I mean? Like looking out for the homeboy type shit. And every time I'd hit him up, he would tax my ass.
Yeah,
so
and see, he never even had to go out there and get it. I was always like one of the people that went out and got it.
Right, and that's why that was another reason I was super salty about it. Like, bro, you're getting it from my bro. Like, stop being like that to me. Like,
that's why I was salty. You didn't hook me up with none.
Well, so when me and Face have been joking about robbing dude, and then that night, okay, so yeah, he'd been in some tight spots with me and was solid back then. So when Face comes over, I remind Face, I'm like, hey, you remember how we always been talking about the mini fridge? He's like, yeah. I'm like, man, you got the right one tonight because me and bro do that shit. And he was like, shit, I'm with it. Let's go do it. Let's do it. Face then became like he was the biggest instigator of it. You know what I mean? He was, because we were like, now if you don't want to, Face, I want it. Fuck that pussy. All that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's locked in. You know what I mean? Ain't no backing out now. We're doing this shit. So we load up in the car. We even take the bitches with us, bro. And we tell them, like, hey, you're going to wait in the car. And so we pull up. We stop the house. It's dark. And dude was out of town. He was out of town that night.
He left me in charge of the fridge.
What we didn't know or didn't count on was that your other roommate had homeboys over that night. And they were sleeping in his room. They were sleeping on the couch, the futon, and the bed up there.
They were everywhere, dude.
Yeah. And so when of course, we came through the back door and the dogs barked like one time. And so then they seen it was like me and Face, and they came up to us and we was cool. And so they quieted down and like everybody in the house was asleep. And that like almost never happened. So boom, we go walking up the stairs to the bedroom real quiet and shit. And we get inside the bedroom and we like make it all the way inside the bedroom, like to the mini fridge. And we like hear rustling or something. So like I'm using my phone as a flashlight. And so I turn and shine the light, and we realize there's people in the room sleeping. And we're both like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, we freeze up, like, hold still for a minute. Like, are they going to wake up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're so, like, drunk and passed out. They're just, like, snoring and, like, roll over and shit. You know what I mean? They don't even know we're in the room with a flashlight. Well, Face bitches up, and Face is like, I'm not doing this with them in here. Like, he's like, they know me, you know what I mean? And like takes off out the room. And I'm like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing this. Like, I didn't come this far to turn around. So when Face goes out the room and downstairs, I go downstairs because we left Kevin in the car with the bitches. Kevin was going to be the driver. And so I come downstairs and I get in the car with Kevin. I'm like, hey, Face is bitched out because the dude's sleeping there, but they're past smooth the fuck out. We can get this off. Let's do this. And he's like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. So me and Kevin go back up there. And there was like a basket of shit. I don't know if you remember that, set on the mini fridge. And I think there was even he had a little broken pistol. A pistol that didn't work. Or it was an airsoft gun.
It's an airsoft pistol, yeah.
That's what it was, an airsoft pistol. And it was kind of heavy though. It had some weight to it.
Yeah. Ask one dude.
All that shit. Yeah. So we forget about the basket and that little fucking pistol sitting on there, and we tip the mini fridge forward and to unplug it. And when I tipped the mini fridge forward, that basket slid off and hit the ground and made a bunch of fucking noise. And we stopped again and jerked and looked, and everybody was still asleep. So we're like, fuck it, here we go. We picked the whole mini fridge up and we're going out the door with it. And Face said he didn't know how much was in there. You know what I mean? And we thought, it might be a pound. It might be, little something. I don't remember how much it was, but it was like a few pounds and his cash. He had cash in there too.
Yeah.
And there was a carton of chocolate milk. So when we tipped it up, all the weed and money had chocolate milk spilled all over it.
No way.
Yeah, it was hella funny. It didn't ruin the weed or nothing. You know what I mean? The weed was all in the bag. But we're just laughing because we got this mini fridge full of chocolate milk, money, and weed.
Hell yeah.
It was like
you never keep your money with your anything.
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny.
He was the kind of kid that he grinded up his seeds with the bud too. And it's like, dude, you're dumb as fuck.
Goofy ass. He deserved to get robbed.
He did.
Allegedly.
And you know what's funny? Is that's not even the only safe that's been thing that's been lifted in that house.
What else got to it?
Do you not remember he was one of the kids passed out in the room that night.
Was he?
Yeah, because he's one of the other dude's friends he's the dude that tried shooting this dude at the motel my grandpa built in Quinter.
Yeah,
and then he got stabbed to death.
Stabbed him to death.
Well, you remember his goofy brother that used to come up from Wichita?
I'd have to know who you were really talking about.
The briefcase. He used to have the briefcase with all the shit in it.
Yeah, the briefcase got robbed. I forgot the briefcase got robbed.
Yeah, when
I just seen old boy tonight who stole the briefcase too.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I just seen him at O'Reilly's.
The same dude?
The dude who stole the briefcase. You remember who stole the briefcase? You don't remember who stole the briefcase?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen him tonight.
What's he doing here?
He was with his girl looking at something.
What the fuck?
It was real tall dude, right? Real tall dude is who got him, right? Yeah, that's who I remember.
Yeah, because he lived with Smitty.
I forgot he did that shit. He was with the shit kind of for that. He did do that.
He also did me though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
What did he get from you?
600.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, I mean that was like my re-up money.
Yeah, that's super shitty to do to a homeboy.
Well, yeah, the whole reason we squashed it was because that night that dude beat the fuck out of me when it wasn't even my fight. It was the other dude's fight.
When did that happen?
Not number 2.
Oh, yeah.
He got kicked out of Chuck's because him and this one dude were talking. And all I did was tap on the guy's shoulder because they just so happened to be walking in front of us because they got kicked out and dude got kicked out. So I went with him and I was like, hey, dude, I think you should say something to my friend. And before I knew it, this motherfucker, he was tall and I don't know if he was just stronger than me or he beat the fuck out of me, dude. And he was left-handed, dude. He only fucked up one side of my face. But I still talked shit the whole time. I was like, I was fucked up too, though. So yeah, he was just punching me. And I was just like yelling and sending like crazy shit at him. But then I call the tall guy for backup, and he comes over, and all these people come over, and we're trying to find this guy and beat him up. And instead, we go over to the U-Haze, find out where he stays, and we like kick the rims in on his bicycle, stole his gas tank off his heater, threw rocks through the windows. Like the police ended up coming over to my house and being like, yo, what the fuck's going on? This guy's girlfriend's like scared for her life. She's going to drop out and move back home with her parents. I was like, face, bro? Like, what the fuck? I was like, I was like, I got friends that are pretty pissed off about it. And they said to just cut the shit or else they'd get involved. And I was like, okay.
Okay, yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But I looked like fucking Frankenstein, dude.
I kind of remember you walking around with a shiner for a while.
Dude, it was like my whole fucking face.
Oh, man. What were some more fun times from that era?
Fucking man, there's so much shit that like, oh man, I feel like a lot of people would get, but it's like they might. I don't know. I feel like we've been doing pretty good at the not saying people's names.
I feel like at least well enough that you can go through and edit the ones out that need to be edited.
I'm hella good at editing because when I do it by myself, you know, I have like 9 seconds sometimes where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I gotta edit out all that dead air.
Yeah. Well, I just pulled into Wichita, but I'm going to hit a McDonald's before I go home, and I would like to think of one more fun story.
Yeah, dude, because I mean, we already made it to like 46 minutes, so it's gonna be.
Well, there's gonna be a lot that's gonna have to get cut out, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna have to edit that out because Joyce.
Joyce listens to the podcast now, so.
Dude, hell yeah. She had to ask me about like that whole first. Who was the one that got beat up and all that stuff? And I was like, really? I was like, yeah.
She said, what'd you tell her?
About like you and the one dude and how I heard his jaw break from the second floor.
Wait, you told her about it?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
She was just like, I told her, I mean, the whole thing, and I was like, she's like, oh wow.
I can just imagine sweet Joyce just hearing like, oh my god.
She sits there, she's got her headphones on, and she listens to it on her tablet. And I can't imagine, you know, some of like even me just talking about how one dude robbed an ounce of weed from me and stuff, and like I'm like having to explain these stories to my mom, and it's like, wow, it's funny.
Yeah, real class act. Think of one more notorious fun night that we all had
in Hayes
or anywhere. One that was an adventure.
We did crazy shit in Collier, but
we did.
I'm trying to think like when we went back after we were out of school.
Oh man, I'm pretty confident that the people I'd love to tell a story about wouldn't listen to this podcast, but under the circumstances that they did, it would be all bad. I don't think we can talk about it. But do you remember when somebody's dad caught me messing around with the daughter, and then we went back for Castle Rock Classics, and they were there, and he was staring at me, and you were fucking pointing at him and shit?
Dude,
you were pointing at his daughter, and then you were showing Jacob. You were like, "That's her right there."
We were all fucked up, weren't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good old time.
Man, they were some fucking crazy times. I'm trying to think of there's a shitload that went on at Tamarack too, though.
Yeah, there was.
Because then after Tamarack, where the fuck did you go?
To prison.
Oh, you stayed in Hayes. Well, no, but you stayed in Hayes because I forgot. Like,
That's when a lot of my legal issues started to get real thick and heavy.
Yeah, because after Tamarack, after the whole Fritch thing, bitch boy fucking cried about everything because he'd lost his job and that was his only forms of money. And I was like, well, fuck you then. So he moved out, and then fucking the couple in the room, they moved out.
Face was staying there on a fucking mattress for a while with nothing else in the house.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. There's a mattress in your room.
Dude, we destroyed that house. We were the first one to move in there, dude, and we fucked it up.
Oh yeah, it was a party house.
Yeah.
I feel like we fucked up just about every house that you lived in. I know we fucked up just about every house I lived in.
Yeah.
Like, you can't throw house parties in houses not just get tore the fuck up.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, we threw, I feel like, ragers, like,
yeah,
they were fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, they were. And there was always destructive people around it too.
Yeah. And dude, like you remember the first time I met he was the first guy I met with his jaw wired shut.
Smoody?
No. Like Adi G.
Who?
He was the first one that was dating old girl that Rambo started banging.
Damn,
Except
I don't know.
he moved to Louisiana. He was like hella old.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
hanging
yeah.
out with
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
what about what night?
I don't know where I was going with that though. I
Ah,
don't know. I guess that was just a fun fact.
yeah. There was so many wild nights.
Where were you staying when I lived there?
In Tamarack,
Yeah.
in that apartment on Main Street. You came over
With
there
the
and
hot
shot dice. You came over and shot dice with me a couple times over there. You came over there a couple times.
and yeah, I remember that. Okay. Because that was when we were playing in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, we shot for some hats a couple times. I think you won a hat off me one time.
I think you got a hat from me too.
Yeah, I think we got hats off of each other. That was fun when we used to shoot dice for hats.
Yeah, dude. I'd show people like I carried on the spirit of dice. And these motherfuckers one night they started throwing $100 bills, and I was like, "You guys are fucking nuts. I ain't fucking fuck that.
I play dice casino all the time now. That's my shit.
Nuh-uh. I want to.
Fucking I don't go a lot, but I probably go like a couple times a month.
Damn. Man, I feel like we could. No, see, we're getting too old. We can't have no more crazy times. That's why we can talk about them now.
All right. Now if we have crazy times, it has to be a planned like getaway or something. You know what I mean? That's like the only acceptable time that it's gotta be like a vacation setting. Like if you would have came with us to Colorado,
Yeah.
that would have been a perfect time to have a fun adventure.
Oh yeah. But see, yeah, I feel like I don't know. It's harder to do like just random shit, like just fuck it. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying with jobs and shit. When you're grown, you gotta like plan in advance. Like, okay, fucking 2 months from now, you know what I mean, or like 6 weeks from now, I'm gonna fucking go stay at an Airbnb here and whatever.
But we still do got some homies. One that I can think of super clearly, so I seen him today with you. He still gets pretty fucked up,
He does still get pretty fucked up,
but he also missed out on a shitload of years.
and when he gets fucked up, he's not like young rager house party getting fucked. You know what I mean? He goes to the bar and gets tore up, and
Young
although
white girl
he
wasted.
he would be a blast to have on and tell some stories, boy. When he gets to talking about some of the shit he did in the military, man, he cracks me up. You have to ask him about open mouth kissing the prostitute.
Fuck yeah, that sounds awesome.
Sounds like some shit you.
I'm about to look it up right now.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
I'm about to pull in here, so I guess we don't really have a full solid. Oh, you know what? I do have one last little quick story. Do you remember the night that I came over with a girlfriend I had at the time, and she actually had to go home, and I stayed there, and that was a perfect opportunity for me because you had just came back with some acid. And since she was having to go home early, I was going to get to trip acid. And so I did. I tripped a couple hits of this really good acid, few hits, I think. And I was just starting to feel the effects of this acid. We were all standing behind the house back there on the little patio. And I was feeling good. It was a good night. And then around the corner, at the time, Kevin and me were super tight. So when he came around the corner, I was like, "Oh man, Kevin, where's he? You know what I mean? What's he doing here? Yes, it's a party now. You know what I mean?" And he came up to me and he's like, "Bro, your girlfriend called me and told me to come over here because your phone's dead, so you can call her on my phone." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I look, sure enough, my phone's dead. And I'm like, "All right, fuck." So I call her from his phone, and she's like, "Yeah, you need to come to my house tonight." And I'm like, "Man, and keep in mind, I just ate that acid, so I was like, I'm really not trying to do that." And she's like, well, I'm worried about, what you're going to do out tonight. You just need to come out here. And I was like, God damn. All right. Here's what I do. I'll come out there for a couple hours. You know what I mean? I'll come out there, and if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. She's like, just come stay with me. I'm like, all right, whatever. So Kevin takes me out. You remember this? Kevin takes me out there. Bro, it felt like I was on like a 2-day journey throughout this whole process, but I'd only been gone for like a few hours, I guess. You know what I mean? And it was just a wild ride. I set like a car alarm off in her garage on my way out and shit. I had to call Kevin and tell him to come back and pick me up. I was tripping out. And then I came back to the apartment, and you were there, and you guys are on a whole nother level. And it was just the whole night was nuts.
And see, that night with the first story with Face breaking his arm, that girl that it's the only time I ever like came out of blackout eating a bitch out. And it was awesome. And that was the only time I banged her too, I think. And she was hella cool. And it was like, we hung out all day, every day until that night. She said she never did acid. She wanted to do it so bad. So I fucking
hold on.
Happened.
Are you ready?
Can I get a hold on 1 second here.
Spicy McChicken.
Let me get a spicy McChicken.
Hey.
Anything else?
That's it. Oh, actually, can I add on a small fry?
A little bit first of all.
Thank you. All right, what were you saying now, Jordy?
That she wanted to take the acid, and she'd never did it before, and so I made it happen. And then that's when I see her. Like, I had to bring her back because I was like, "You're way too fucked up to be outside by yourself." And then somehow we end up on the balcony upstairs while all that shit's going down, and she's bawling her eyes out. And somehow we make it back through and go sit in her car. And I got to sit in there while she's like calling her friends, like, if anyone ever offers you acid, don't ever fucking do it. It's the worst fucking thing in the world. And I was like, what the fuck? No, bitch, it's not. And yeah, I never seen her again, dude. I've honestly looked, and I'm like, damn, this bitch disappeared. Like, I don't know what happened, but
that is hilarious.
I just remember, I bet you start crying and we'll stop hitting you, is burning her brain.
Oh fuck! Golly.
Yeah.
I look back at some of the fucking situations we created for ourselves, and I'm just like, man, just young and dumb. No wonder some of the shit that happened to us.
Yeah.
Good times we had, Val.
Yeah, dude. I feel like, I don't know. I wouldn't change nothing. I had a blast.
I would have tried to stay out of jail a little more for sure. Thank you. Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like those sometimes.
Huh?
Oh, I just say I feel like sometimes people just have. I don't know. Some people, they break hella bones for doing dumb shit, and then other people don't. Some people, I don't know. They just like. Yeah. Some people get fucked with more than others, and it's fucked up.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Some people's viewpoints on what is tolerable and what is acceptable on a day-to-day basis don't line up with the laws and the society that we have now, even though it really should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so many things wrong with how things are designed, and some guys don't deserve all the trouble they get, but it just plays out like that, man. Some guys don't deserve all the hardships they face, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Nothing. Just bitch about it.
All right, bro. I gotta get off here though, because I'm like literally like just cruising my neighborhood now, burning up gas.
You're good. All right, bro.
All right, you'll have to send me a sample or something. Let me hear when you get it all done.
Word, I'm gonna start it now.
All right. Love, bro.
Later, dude.
What up? And that concludes episode number 12, Blackouts and Broken Bones at Tamarack Circle, with my special guest, JC. And as I stated in the beginning, today is February 27th, 2023, and the time only needs to be known by me or whatever. I don't give a fuck. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I do apologize for not getting episodes out like I used to, but like I stated in the last episode, I had a lot of changes, different jobs, still trying to hustle my kratom, um, doing random shit. I feel like I got a attention deficit, do everything I can to get motherfucking money disorder. Because I start a podcast, I fucking try to make music, I try to fucking sell kratom, fucking too much shit. Because I get sidetracked with all these things I'm trying to do, which I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a brand ambassador for a couple clothing companies. And then the next thing you know, I'm a fucking influencer for another fucking clothing company. And which soon I'll give you some promo codes. You can get some dope clothes if you would like. But that'll be for the next episode. But I felt like I had some shit that I was going to try to talk about for my closing. And I'm drawing a motherfucking blank. Story of my life. Yeah. I don't know. I hope everyone's having a good 2023. I would have to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, 2023 is better than 2022. Yeah, I would say that. And yeah, I'm just trying to stay on some positive shit, which I know can be hard. But I do think I am going to be concluding season number 1 soon. And then I'm going to start season number 2, bitch. And I got some special things I want to do for season number 2, that'll make it pretty cool. But I'm just rambling. So I might as well just say fuck it and hit you with the closing. I would like to thank you for tuning in to Once Upon the 785, the dopest motherfucking podcast in the Midwest. I'm your host, Georgie350, and as always, hit him with the outro, bitch. Middle of the map, can't swear I'm at. You can say I'm whack, it's just not a fact. Can't tell if I'm awake or I'm in a dream. I just know I'm geeked on amphetamines. Never was a habit, now I gotta have it. Never was a fiend, now I am an addict.